Hey everybody. I missed you guys. Oops. Sorry. I missed you guys. So, let me explain my absence and then we'll get into something else. So, not last Friday, but a week ago from last Friday. So, June 2nd, I was in an accident at work. And I have to tell you guys, please learn through someone else's experience. So, I got hurt. It's not super serious, but it could have been because of where I work. There's a lot of machinery and there's a lot of risks involved in working with big, heavy machines and that kind of thing. And so I was carrying a big bag. It was quite heavy, and to make a long story short, I tore my, I don't want to say tore yet. I have sprained and strained quite extremely my rotator cuff muscles. And the reason why I'm saying maybe not a torn is because I'm hoping that it's not torn, because I want it to heal really fast. Sorry, my foot itches, guys. Anyway, so I just want to say that if something happens at work, report it right away. Because if you don't, it makes the company hurt. It makes your team members, it slows down your team members, and it doesn't make you look good either. So it's always important to report immediately. Immediately, just report it. Anyhow, with that being said, last week I had significantly less hours. I probably worked about 12 hours, I'm thinking. And then this week I'm working significantly less hours, about maybe 20 hours. And so, it's going to be really hard these next couple of weeks that are coming up. It's going to be quite difficult. It's hard enough in many, many places these days to work with only one income, especially if your income is, kind of on the lower scale. It's definitely higher than minimum wage, so I'm really blessed about that. And it's definitely higher than where I was at my old job, so I'm also very grateful for that. But it's going to be really, really rough for me, not this Friday, but for maybe the next 3 weeks after that. I'm really actually kind of scared about, just finances, the F word. So as you can see, I have kinesiology tape on. It's actually been helping, surprising enough. Now, I don't have any mobility in my arm, and I'm not supposed to move it or lift it or grasp or whatever, but it's okay that I not use any muscles and pull up on it and stuff myself. I'm very limited in my right arm, my right shoulder mobility. I'm in constant pain, so from the day that it happened, I was in pain, and I am not supposed to take anti-inflammatories. So, for example, ibuprofen, because I have one kidney, and they filters through your blood into the kidneys, and that can be kind of harmful for your kidney. And I just have one. I think I've mentioned that before. And then Tylenol, my extra strength Tylenol, has not been working. So when I went to the doctor's on Friday, a week after the accident, which was not a good idea, so don't do what I did. And they gave me a cortisone shot. It did nothing. It did absolutely nothing. Oh, my arm is starting to hurt. Sorry, guys. Okay, let's see, what do I do? Maybe I can do this. Okay, so I tried this cortisone shot and it didn't do anything. The doctor said to wait, 1 to 2 hours. I did, and it did nothing. And then he prescribed me some painkiller, and I've never taken this painkiller before. And I thought of taking, so the doctor was a little bit abrupt with me. Well, he was very curt with me. And it was at the end of the day, and I got there as soon as I can. I had gone to 3 different places, and they were like, no, you need to go to this place. No, you need to go to this place. That kind of thing. And so I had spent the entire day driving around, going to all the places and going through the right channels in order to get my shoulder just looked at. And so I was extremely patient, but this doctor was not. I'm not going to mention his name because maybe he was just having a bad day and taking it out on me. But so he asked me, what would you prefer, painkiller or muscle relaxant? And I said, well, I don't know. I've never had a muscle relaxant that I can remember. But I've had painkillers. Which one would you suggest is better? And I should have chosen the muscle relaxant, and I didn't. And he just barked at me. Well, I mean, I don't want to say bark because that sounds kind of rude on my side, but he was just like, well, I asked you. And I said, but you're the doctor, so you would probably know better. And he goes, well, I asked you, and then he goes, ugh, just pick. Like that. And so, pressure's on. Door A, door B, door A, door B, door A, door B, with no education on either one. So I picked painkiller. And what they gave me was just like eating M&Ms that made my stomach hurt. And apparently it's supposed to be super addictive. I'm not complaining that I'm not addicted to it. I'm complaining because it hurt really bad and it was nothing. And if I would have taken too much, then, it could be really dangerous. But it did nothing to subside my pain. And it's still, so I took 2 tablets and it did nothing. So I haven't taken anything else. And so I keep on trying to take Tylenol, hoping that it will psychologically, I keep on telling myself, it's going to work. It's going to work. Your pain is going to stop. I'm sorry. Lamaze never worked for me either. I have a high threshold for pain, but this is just like, it's terrible. It's really super painful. So it's a little bit of an inconvenience, but I am so blessed that I, number 1, still have a job. Number 2, that even though I'm making less hours right now, I have I work with the best people. What I'm doing right now is different than what I was doing before. It's a different department. So I'm meeting new people, I'm learning new things, and, I just love the company I work for. So that's, the silver lining, that's good. So what I wanted to talk today about, about 2 months ago, I think, maybe, I don't know. I feel it was back in the first part of May, last part of April, I had told you guys that I took it. It's under the topic I've been tested or something like that. So I got my 23andMe results back like maybe 3 weeks ago. And I went to 23andMe. I had used in the past this, it's called Hallow something. It was with National Geographic, and they were doing this sociology kind of, anthropology kind of studies. And so I did not know that they would close down that to the public. I thought that you would be able to see your results, in perpetuity, but apparently not. So I was kind of bummed about that. And so when I went to check, I couldn't find that company anymore. And then I called them and they're like, oh yeah, well, we don't have that website anymore. We're not active in it. National Geographic just uses it for studies on King Tut's tomb, or the ice, quote unquote, the Iceman that they found, or mummies or whatever, but they don't do it on normal people anymore. And so I had to redo it. And so I found it really interesting, and it makes me want to do another one because my first results are different than these. And I don't understand how, and I don't understand why. Not that I'm angry, not that I was upset. I was just I was still really curious as to what these people say. So now I'm even more curious to say what, let's say, Ancestry.com says. But anyway, so what it says, well, first of all, they matched up my uncle to my cousin, my second cousin. And I kind of laughed about that. He is my mom's, they have the same mother, but different, oh my gosh. They have the same father, but different mothers. And so I was really curious. And so anyway, I think it's kind of funny that they say, that your half uncle is actually your second cousin. But it also makes sense because there's this kind of double cousin kind of situation, like brothers marrying sisters or something like that, But anyway, so no, I got to take that back. 2 brothers married from a different family of 2 sisters, not brothers and sisters getting married. No, none of that. Oh, that was really kind of dumb of me. But anyway, so my ancestry kind of overlaps on some things, because my great grandfather is also my how does this work? My great grandfather is also my great uncle, or my great uncle, or something really funky like that. But literally no brothers and sisters. It's just 2 different families, a sister from one family, a sister from another family, a brother from one family, a brother from another family. They all married. So it's like a brother and a sister married, in high school. This happened to me. Brother and a sister married from one family, and a sister and a brother married from another different family, and then they had kids. And that's how it worked. Anyway, that kind of hurt. I should not have done that. Anyway, so but that's on my mom's side. So on my dad's side, it's less complicated. But anyway, so I found my daughter. That kind of made me happy. It was like, you might have a daughter on here. And then I told my daughter, who I knew was on here, I was like, connect me as your friend so that you can see everything. And she's like, well, let me see if I can find you. Let me see if this works. And it said something like, you might have, a mother on here or something like that. So anyway, so we're connected and it's kind of fun. She's literally 50% me. Well, she's 51% me and 49% her dad. And that just like warms my heart, gives me giggles. Oh, ow, that hurt too. Okay, so the strongest concentration of ancestry that I have is Northwestern Europe. And they were able to pinpoint it to South England and Northern Scotland and Ireland. So that's 54% of me. No. Yeah. So, yeah, that's 54% me. Namely in, like, the northern part, like, mid to northern part of Scotland and Ireland. Which makes sense. So, here's my birth father side of the family. I'm 25% German, which they have pinpointed down to Bavaria, Hamburg, Saxony, and Lower Saxony. Okay. Which I find quite fascinating myself. And so I'm like, Guten Tag, all of my friends anyway. I don't know how to say hello in Gaelic, but I would, just to be a dork. Then I'm another 14%, and this is definitely my birth father's side, or my daddy's side of the family. Oh, sorry, I keep hitting my mic. And they found it to be in the Zlin region of they call it they call it the Czech Republic, but my family, real Czechs call it Czechoslovakia. That's what I was told. Anyway, and then they were able to pinpoint, which I just find very fascinating and really excited about this, Poland. That makes me so happy. I've kind of thought that I had a little Polish in me because of the Czech and the German side. So, it's kind of all in that area. But I wasn't sure, but that makes me happy. I'm a little bit more Slavic than I thought. So 25% plus 14.7%. So it's, kind of like almost 40-ish percent. I don't know. I'm really bad with math. But, and don't be mean if you correct me. So then 0.3% is broadly European. And what they say by broadly European is like some of the Neolithic farmers from Western Asia joined the Paleolithic hunter-gatherers to settle in Europe. So some of the DNA is difficult to assign to confidently to one population, and so it receives a broad area, but it's like it encompasses just all of Eastern and Western Europe. So that's not a shock either, I found it really shocking, though. I don't want to say shocking. I found it a little bit surprising because my mom's side of the family was Native American. They were born and raised on a reservation. And they were on the Trail of Tears. And there's a lot of family stories about that. And then my great-grandpa on my mother's birth mother side of the family um, during the Great Depression, he wasn't able to find a job, and he had really long hair. And he decided that and they were on a reservation in Missouri. And he decided that he was going to leave Missouri, cut his hair, leave the tribe so that he could go and find some place to work. And he ended up in a car with my grandmother, my mother's birth mother, so my mom's mom, and her little sister, and they drove from Missouri all the way, and this is during the Great Depression, all the way to California. And he found a Blue Diamond almond factory to work at. Not saying that you guys want to know that, but if you saw my mom, you would go, oh my gosh, I don't look a thing like her. I have the blonde hair, blue eyes. I'm super, what's the word I want to say? I'm super tall. When I tan, I'm the whitest I've ever been in my life right now. I look like I just came out of my mom's womb. No, that sounded kind of gross. But, like, this is the whitest I've ever been. But I get pretty bronzy. I don't get olive. And I don't stay, like, white. I get pretty bronzy. So I go red. I think you guys saw me last year. I go red when I'm in the sun. And then it fades into a tan. And then I go red and tan, red and tan. So I just haven't been able to get out much these past 2 weeks because I've been locked up because I'm in so much pain. And I didn't want to mess up my arm. So anyway, so then after that, I have 0.2% Nigerian. I'm telling you, I do. See? Look. Can you see that? Oh, no, you can't. Oh, there we go. 0.2% Nigerian, which I was really shocked about. But in my results for National Geographic, they said that I was 14%, my mitochondrial DNA was 14% from Gibraltar and northern part of Morocco. And that kind of made sense to me because a lot of people that are Native American, because of the Spaniards and that area, Portuguese and Spaniards, that came over to United States, it made sense to me that they would have intermixed. I'm trying to be as sensitive as possible. But anyway, and then there's 0.1% that's unassigned. And so, I don't know, I found that really interesting. I love the fact that, and I can't show you, like, my daughter's and my, DNA, just because for her privacy. And also a little bit for mine too, because I share with you a lot. But anyway, so I'm concluding that it just was really interesting. It was kind of a fun little thing, kind of a fun experience. And if you guys ever do 23andMe, if you have like a friend that you know is on 23andMe, you guys can compare your DNA, which is kind of fun. I have another friend, and I don't want to mention that friend's name, but that friend and we like looking at each other's DNA. And then every once in a while they do updates. So they do have updates, and it's just kind of an interesting, I guess, to see where you're from and stuff. There was a second cousin that I've been able to get pictures of my daddy's father. And I don't know anything about his side of the family. They all came from Czechoslovakia. They are Czechs. And so I'm really excited to learn that side of my ancestry. It just kind of, I don't know. I kind of like that stuff. So anyway, I have another video to present to you. And so I'm stopping this one. I'm going to post it and I'll be right back. Thanks for watching.